Okay, so it turns out that there are grounding wires installed, at least in two of the outlets I've checked thus far. I don't know about the whole building. The wiring's very odd. I've never seen this before. There's two-pronged outlets installed, but behind here, I looked, there is a grounding wire. And I can even tell by testing it with my multimeter. See here now. I've got 120 volts, roughly. And then this screw in the middle, usually, it's not grounded on a two-prong unless the grounding rod back here is grounded. So on this, even here, it's not showing up as grounded because this has the hot and neutral reversed for some reason. Very weird. It's not like this on the other outlet I tried. So here you can see now it picks up a charge, right? Same 120 volts. So that's inferring that this is grounded, and I did confirm by checking more or less to see the wire back here. The problem is really any grounded outlet should definitely have a properly hooked up three-pronged receptacle to it, so you can properly ground electronics that are meant to be grounded. I mean, all electronics should really be grounded nowadays, but this one I can show you real quick. Sorry for the movement. The thing is with these, so to ground something, like you can notice, here's an adapter, right? To put a three-prong into a two-prong, which you should never do, really. Well, no, this won't even fit because this one's reversed. They reversed the hot and the neutral. I have no idea why. And if you notice, that singular light is saying it's an open ground, so it's not grounded. But now if I push it to make contact with this metal with that screw, now it's saying it's grounded and it's correct hot and neutral. But it's only saying it's correct hot and neutral because I've inverted rather, this adapter. The other adapter I tried, I don't have it right now, would fit correctly, and when I plug it in, it just says that hot and neutral are reversed. However, like the one in the kitchen is the other outlet I tried. And these are the most important to have grounded, anything that's next to water, because if they're not grounded, then I even think in the US legally they need to have GFCI outlets, which kind of act as a surge protector. It's not nearly as good as having something that's grounded. But here, this is properly plugged in. And now I check it, and it's both grounded and the hot and neutral are in correct position. But you notice if I just slightly pull that metal pin off the adapter so it's no longer touching the grounding screw, it's an open ground, so it's no longer grounded. And that's essentially what the third prong does, is it acts as a grounding pin. And usually, I'd say, gosh, 90% of the time that there are two-pronged outlets, there's not even a grounding cable. So when I first heard about this or saw this, I just assumed that nothing was grounded at all. Another thing is I don't technically know how it's grounded because I did look at the circuit box and it wasn't self-evident that it itself is grounded, and that even if the wiring in the house or the residence isn't grounded, is, I'm pretty sure, illegal here. At least it should be. But regardless of legalities, it's just very unsafe. But apparently there is grounding wire in the apartment. I do not know what it's grounded to. I without following the wires, I couldn't really know. So that's kind of odd. Maybe somebody in the past jerry-rigged it to attach it to a water pipe or something to that effect. I'm not quite certain. But I'll keep this brief. At this point, what would definitely be recommended, I mean, in my opinion at least, would be changing out these outlets. I'll try and test all of them, I guess, but changing out all the outlets that are grounded, at the very least 2 3-pronged outlets, which is nice because that wouldn't be nearly as extensive of having to rewire, because apparently there is ground wiring. So that would just be the outlets, you know, and those outlets only cost like, I think, $3 or something at a home improvement store. And that would be a relatively quick and easy fix. But I would definitely recommend getting a decent electrician out here to at least make certain of the grounding, make sure that the circuit box itself is grounded and whatnot. But anyways, that's the case right now. It's essentially, it looks like there is some grounding wires at least to these 2-pronged outlets, but at the bare minimum, the 2-pronged outlets should be replaced by 3-pronged. And then even if there is grounding, I do believe that still GFCI outlets within 6 feet of water, so the kitchen and the bathroom are required here. Even regarding grandfather clause, I think that's still a legality. But yeah, that's what's going on here. Hopefully that makes sense. I can't write right now because my hand is busted up, but hopefully Kaylee can also write that in script so that it's more understandable. I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you.